Good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's session. I'm happy to present today's session of EGP. So today we are going to be discussing on the solutions of the subject of IT programming for the recently concluded mock test 2. Just the mock test 2 was concluded, and we are going to be discussing the solutions for the IT programming section of this. And I'm very happy that most of you have turned out for this session. So thank you for that. Before we begin the session, can I confirm whether the audio and the sound is working fine? I mean, the audio and the video. If the audio is clear, please type AC. If the video is clear, please type VC. If both are clear, type AC VC. Just so that I can get a quick confirmation on that. Guys, just to be confirming whether my voice is audible and whether the video, whether you're able to see the video, please type AC VC if both audio and video are clear. I hope I'm clear to guys. There's a chat section you can see. There's a live chat section. You can type in ACVC if audio and video are clear. Just on the side or somewhere you might see the chat section. So, okay, yeah, thank you. I can get some confirmations on this. So, let's begin. Right. I hope you have prepared well and you are preparing well for your TNQT. All right. And we are here to help you out. And who are we? We are Ethnus. We are helping students in the past 14 years to realize their dreams of getting their first job. Right, we not only we help the students to get their first job, we also help them upskill themselves in terms of various technologies like AWS, Java, web development, etc. And we also provide good placement opportunities with a minimum salary of 4.8 LPA. All right. For more information, please go to our website www.codemithra.com. Right. And a light introduction about myself. My name is Prashant, and I'm a software developer here at Ethnus. I develop full stack applications at Ethnus, and today I'm going to be your host. Right? And one last slide before we begin to the actual section. Today, as I told earlier, we are going to be discussing about the IT programming sections. All right, and this is Ethnus Guidance Program. If you are new here, you would not be knowing about EGP, but here, let me just tell you what is EGP. So it's a comprehensive program which has been held for a month to help you to prepare for the TCS NQT. We have provided the practice materials and the mock test for your practice and preparation. All right. We offer training not only on IT programming, not only on the technology side, but also on aptitude, reasoning, and verbal. For more information, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel and keep checking our previous videos so that you can get a very good understanding of all the things that we are offering. Right. So, yes, so let's begin, shall we? Before we begin, this is one important announcement. If you haven't joined our Telegram channel, please do it. We will be providing all the updates regarding TNQT and other similar exams. And if you have any doubts or need assistance in certain things, we'll be more than happy to help you out. So please follow this link, or you can go to Telegram, or you can search for Ethnus Codemithra, Ethnus space Codemithra, and join our Telegram group. So without any ado, let's start with our first section. First section, as you already know, the TNQT IT programming has two sections. The first section is programming logic. These are the MCQs for 15 minutes. And the second section is the coding section. It'll be held for 45 minutes. All right. We have around 10 questions around here, and here is your first question for today. What will be the output for the following Java program? It's a very simple question to begin with. What will be the output of the Java program? A simple public class and a static method, and you're printing something. Let me enable my webcam. Get some quick answers for this, guys. So yeah, I hope you can see me. This is me. Hi, everyone. ACVC. ACVC. Good. Thank you for your response, my career and Amrita. Yeah, Amrita, nice to see you again. And let's see what's the answer. And here you can see this is a escape sequence. Like any character after the after which comes after this symbol, that is the backward slash, is called an escape sequence in Java and C. So slash n is an escape sequence for a new line character. Right? Similarly, slash o is an escape sequence for a null character. So what is slash r? If you tell, let us see what is slash r. We'll just see how this will be printed. First, A will be printed, then B will be printed, and there is slash R. What is slash R? So here there'll be a cursor, all right? So slash R is known as carriage return. So what it'll do is it'll advance the cursor to the beginning of the line. So our cursor is here currently. It will advance the cursor to the beginning. It'll be like from this, it'll go to this. A, B. So this is the cursor. There's the cursor, all right? And now A, B, these have been printed already. And next character after this slash R is A. And since the cursor is at the beginning, it will start printing from this position, all right? So A and B had been already printed. But what will happen is these printed characters will be overwritten, all right? So what will happen again? A, B, A. A, B, A will be printed. So this A and B will be erased off by A, B, A. And by this stage, you would have printed these many lines. And after that, you encounter slash R again. Your cursor will be here after printing these many characters. And now if you encounter slash R, where will your cursor go? Your cursor will go to the beginning, A, B, A. All right. If any other characters were there after this, then probably your A, B, A would have also been overwritten. But no, we are terminating over here. So your answer would be A, A, B, A. So just keep in mind, guys. So whenever you are printing something, say H, E, L, L, O, and suddenly if you encounter a character like slash R, your cursor all the way from here will go to the beginning. All right. And anything following slash R would be overwriting all the things that you have already written. All right. One suggestion I give you is make a note of all the common escape sequences like slash n, slash r, slash t, null character, that is slash 0. And before you go to the TNQT regularly, please keep checking the ASCII character set. All right, lots of characters are like you can check out the character sets. The character code for A and a small letter A, capital letter A, and for the numbers. These will be very handy, not only for TNQT, but also your other, interview questions. All right. Okay, I can see some answers. Vangshu Patil, C, and Likhil. Hi, Likhil. Nice to see you. Dheeraj, Amrita. But the answer is A. Never, if you answer it in the wrong way, no need to be worried, guys, because once you commit a mistake, then only you'll realize your weakness. All right, there you have to work towards it. I'm very happy that I can see the chat section very active. All right, thank you, guys. Thanks a lot. All right, so let's move on to the next question now. What will be the output of the following Java program? Again, classical Java program, and the options are right in front of you. It's all up to you, guys. Can I get some answers? Let's keep this tempo running and let's keep this momentum increasing. Please do not decrease the momentum. Let's keep this increasing. All right. What is the output of the following Java program? They have some class main and a private variable, and you have a public static void main, which will create a new main object out of the class. You have a constructor out there. Can I get some quick answers? Let me give you around 10 to 15 seconds. So Nikhil says A. What about others? Can I get some answers? Sandhya Krishnan, yeah, thank you, Sandhya, for answering. Says D. Dheeraj D. Rutuja D. Okay, first, you guys should be appreciated because you're trying, all right? So I'm sorry, Nikhil, Sandhya, Dheeraj, and Rutuja. The correct answer is A. And well done, Nikhil. The correct answer is A. Why this is A? Like answer D. You guys, all of you who have answered D, you are right. You're 90%. You are right. Yeah? You've got this question right almost, but not fully. All right. You've gotten the answer right almost, but you haven't got that fully. All right. Why? If I tell, the answer is this. We have your private. Okay. Here you will be creating a new object, and here you're not passing any parameters over here. So the default constructor will be called. You'll be tempted to answer with the D, but the answer is not D. It is A. That because there is no public class over here. Remember, guys, in Java you need at least one public class. At least one public class. All right, all of you, D is actually right. If only the word public, if only the keyword public was there next to the class main, D would have been the correct answer. But no, public is not there. So in Java, you need to have at least one public class. Otherwise, how would the compiler be knowing which of the class to execute, which of the class would start with? All right. So the answer is A. There is no public class, and a compilation error will be thrown. All right. Okay, well done. Anyways, Amruta, well done. Answer is A. Kanishk, zero. I'll assume it as A. Pradeep, well done. Nikhil, Pradeep, unfortunately, the answer is A, right? But yeah, Nikhil and Paul, very well done because you have attempted. So unfortunately, the answer is A because the class is not public. All right, there's no public class over here. With this, and here I would like to give you a note, like a small mental note. Please make a mental note out of this. You have to observe each and every part of the code. Like there'll be one or two tricky questions in your TNQT. Be well aware of these things. All right. This might be the difference between you getting a good job and you scoring a good score and not scoring a good score. All right. Nevertheless, since this is a session, there is always scope to improve yourself, and yeah, we'll be doing the same. We'll be helping you doing the same. All right. And here's your third question for the day. Dash is a process to identify the key aspects of an identity and hiding the rest. Again, a straightforward question. Fill in the blanks type. Which is a process in object-oriented programming, of course. You can assume the language as any object-oriented programming, that is Java or C++. But in a general way, which is a process used to identify the key aspects of an identity and hiding of an entity. I'm sorry, and hiding the rest. So Paul says D. Nikhil says encapsulation. Can I get some more answers? Pradeep D. Sandhya D. Encapsulation by Hemant. Amrita D. Nikhil C, Dheeraj D. It, sure. So shall we look at the answer now? Krish C. So guys, most of you have gotten the answer almost right, I'd say. Like here you can see both of the answer, two answers are very common. D and D, right? So what is encapsulation? All right. Encapsulation is nothing but binding the code and data together. All right. You're just wrapping up the code and single so that, there'll be a set of data structures, and to access, you'll not access those data structures directly. You'll use some methods to access those. So this is known as encapsulation, where you'll be binding the data and code together. All right. And this is almost the right answer. But here, if you come to abstraction, what is the definition of abstraction? All right. Abstraction, all right, is the process of making the non-necessary parts invisible and all the necessary parts visible. All right. This is also similar to encapsulation. You can say they're very, very similar. In fact, certain textbooks are there which totally, if in those textbooks, if you look at the question of what are the four principles of OOP, they'll totally skip on abstraction. All right. Yeah, this depends on the author, but nevertheless, I would say the answer is D, because the definition of abstraction is you hide certain things and only you show the things which are necessary. All right. Only you show the things that are necessary. Say you create a class and you'll have several variables inside it. You'll not expose the variables to the user. You will have certain methods which the outside user will use those methods to manipulate the variables and everything. So the correct answer is D. Almost right. Encapsulation is binding the data and code together, and abstraction is hiding. The very meaning of the word abstraction is hiding all the non-necessary stuff and exposing only the necessary stuff. All right. So the correct answer is D. And meanwhile, polymorphism is many forms. All right, we have compile time polymorphism and a runtime polymorphism. All right, inheritance is you inherit from the parent class and all those things. These are the four OOPS principles that you have to be well aware of. All right, including the granular definitions of each one of those. Right. So well done, I'd say. Most of you, I can say the correct answers are more this time. And also most of the people gave the answer which is like nearly, identical to the right answer. All right. So good going, guys. You can improve. So in the next question, I really think that you guys can ace it. All right. This is, you can say it's a sort of a difficult question because linked list. All right. There is one of the peculiar data structures available out there. Here is your question. There is a struct emp, and each struct it has a ID and a next, and then you have three variables: head, next, and temp. Temp you're assigning it to head, and you're traversing the linked list. You're printing something. What would be the output of the following program? This is sort of difficult. I'd not say difficult, but relatively much more. Much more less straightforward than the previous question. Can I get some quick answers, guys, for this? Hemant, first person to answer. Well done, Hemant. But let us see if your answer is right. Let's sorry, Likhil. Likhil, 2468. Hemant says B. Hemant says 246. Pradeep says B. And do we have some more answers, guys? So never mind. Let's try to solve this problem ourselves. All right. Sandhya, see, let me go to the slides right away. And here you can see there's 2468, and here is all the initialization things you're doing, and here is the actual traversal. All right. And initially our temp will be pointing to the head. So let's keep our head temp over here, T-E-M-P, temp, right? I'm horrible at drawing certain things, guys, so please bear with me, all right? This is temp. So what will happen is this temp would be printed, that is 2 would be printed. And then after this, what will happen is temp is equal to temp slash next. So that temp would be pointing to, since you're going to the next pointer, the temp will be pointing to 4. 4 will be printed, all right? And then again, temp next is not equal to null. This is temp, temp.next is not equal to null, obviously. So what you'll do is this loop will be entered again, you'll print 6, all right? And after this, where's there? And after this, what happens is your temp after this, here you can see temp is equal to temp dot next, this operator, and next, temp arrow next. So your temp will now point to 8, all right? Now, again, it'll come here, and now we'll check the condition. Temp dot next not equal to null. Is it the case? Temp, this operator, I'll be referring it as dot, but you know what this operator is. In the case of pointers, you have to use this operator, all right? The arrow operator. But now the temp dot next is equal to null. Here it says not equal to null. If it is not equal to null, then only you enter the loop. But here temp dot next is equal to null. This condition fails. So 246 will be printed. Only 246 will be printed. So your correct answer would be option B. All right. So if we only had if temp not equal to null, if we had this condition, like instead of this, if we had this condition, then 2468 would have been the right answer, because 8 would have been printed, and then 8.next is equal to null, and temp is equal to null, and then next set. This is how the linked list is supposed to be traversed. But here they say temp.next not equal to null. That means it'll traverse until the last element, and whenever it encounters the last element, the while condition will fail, and only the elements which are up to this the previous element will be printed until the penultimate element. Until the penultimate element, everything will be printed. All right. Answer will be 246. Be very, very careful while identifying these things, guys. These are very, very crucial. Right. B, 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 B. Yes, very well done. At the end, Rutuja, Sandhya, Amrita, and Anamika, very well done. Option is B. That is right. So with this, let's move on to the next question. The worst case complexity for insertion sort is worst case complexity for insertion sort is, and at this stage you must know about all the common sorting algorithms. The common sorting algorithms include right from bubble sort, and then comes your merge sort, insertion sort, quick sort, selection sort. All these sorting algorithms should be very familiar for you. All right. And if not, after this, in the interview phases and all, the most common question that the interviewer will ask you is, explain this sorting algorithm. Say, explain quick sort algorithm, explain insertion sorting algorithm. Otherwise, the next question they'll ask is, explain binary search, all right? Searching in a tree, and all the other algorithms that are there in your standard textbooks. All these things are important, all right? They'll ask you everything that you have studied in your, in your curriculum. They'll not ask anything outside of your curriculum, right? At least that is for this IT programming section. The worst case complexity for insertion sort is, so Dheeraj and Sandhya says C. Can I get some more answers? Yes, Dheeraj and Sandhya, very well done. The answer is C. You're right. The worst case time complexity for insertion sort is O of n squared. All right. It's a quadratic time complexity. Let's look at how, if you didn't know how the insertion sort algorithm works, I'll just give you a glimpse, a gist of insertion sort algorithm. All right. So your insertion sort algorithm is nothing but like if you have a pack of cards or something, playing cards, how do you sort them in order? Like imagine in a physical world itself, you'll have some cards. You need to sort those cards according to the number now, according to the number on them. How do you do it? You probably will take one card in your hand and insert it in the appropriate location. All right. That is similar way how you solve insertion sort. All right. So the algorithm is simple. First, you have two loops in insertion sort. All right. The first loop will be iterating over the array. All right. The second loop will be comparing the current element with all the previous elements. That's it. That's simple. If I have to give you an example, let me take a quick example. Let me say four. We have four, three, five, and two. The outside for loop, what it'll do is currently my pointer will be here. This is the pointer where you can imagine this as I. I is nothing but the variable of the outer for loop, right? It'll come to 4 and it has no element to compare with in the predecessor, all right, as the predecessor. So this will be just ignored. And next I will be pointing to. So next our I will go to here, all right, 4 and 3. Now, when it comes to 3, what you should do is compare 3 with the previous element, with the predecessor, all right. Whenever you compare with the predecessor, you see that this current element is lesser than the predecessor. So obviously it should come before the predecessor, isn't it? Then that is the reason you'll swap 4 and 3, swap 4 and 3. Then it will become 3, 4, 5, and 2. And you advance your I to this. You will have your I here. Now, 5. Compare this 5 with the predecessor. All right. Whenever you compare your 5 with the predecessor, you see this 5 is greater than 4. So this is in its appropriate position itself. No need to swap anything. No need to do anything. Just leave it as it is and move to the next position. The next position is 2. And like you can already know that 2 must come. 2 must be the first element of this sorted array. All right. So you will have I over here. So as I said, this is the outer for loop. Compare this current element with the predecessor. All right. We compare this element with the predecessor, that is 5. And obviously 5 is greater. So what you do is you swap 3, 4, 2, 5. All right. Your I would be here. And then what will happen is you compare your this thing with the previous element. Then it'll become 3, 2, and this is not I actually. We'll see some other name, all right. Yeah, it can be I just for the sake of demonstration. Let us keep it as I. 3, 2, 4, 5, and here will be your I. And then again 3 and 2. Compare 3 and 2. Your 3 is obviously greater, so swap these. You will see 3, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So finally, this is how your array is sorted. Now, if you observe the last element, all right, the last element had to be compared with all the elements in the array, all the previous elements. And this says nothing but this is a very expensive operation. And as I told you, outer for loop takes n will iterate over n elements. And in the worst case, if one of your element is compared with each and every previous element, then it'll be n minus 1. Let's say all the elements will be compared with all the previous elements, then there'll be n minus 1. And obviously then your time complexity will be O of n square. This is how it works, guys. I highly encourage you to look up insertion sort, quick sort, selection sort, and merge sort, bubble sort, everything. Not now, but after the session, all right? Yeah, as I told you, very, very important topics for in the context of interview. It is important in the context of your exams too, your TNQT exams, but lots of importance is given for these type of questions in your face-to-face interviews and also the searching algorithms and all right? So let us move on to the next question. Yeah, so here is your next question, guys. There is, something slash U0021. How many of you are Python programmers? If you are a Python programmer or a JavaScript or a Node.js programmer, you would be knowing what is this slash U. Especially Unicode is like pretty much the heart of Python. How ASCII is for C. And I can see for the previous answer, yeah, Hemant has given the right answer. And for this one, I assume Venkata, I believe you have answered C for this current question. That is a Unicode of octal, hexadecimal, and line feed. Nikhil says C. Hemant says A. And Hemant says, yeah, Unicode. Good. Venkata, Sai Krishna, A. Dheeraj, A. Rutuja, A. Let me tell you, all of you have answered the right itself. All of you have answered correctly. The answer is Unicode. Right? Very well done, Sandhya and Anamika. The answer is A. Right? Here you can see in Python and all these languages, similar to ASCII, they'll use one more, encoding called Unicode. All right. It's similar to ASCII. It's like it is compatible with ASCII. ASCII was only supporting only the English characters and a few control characters. That's it. But you have in all over the web, you have Hindi and other Indian languages, all these emojis and everything. With ASCII, we really can't type out these things. So that's the reason we need much more wider character set than ASCII. That's the reason we use Unicode. And how do you identify a Unicode? By the /u. All right. After the /u, you will see some some number. This is a number associated with some Unicode character. For example, 10. The decimal number of 10 is associated with /n in ASCII. Similarly, Unicode also has something as code points. All right. These code points will be associated with one of the printable or non-printable characters, right? So this is Unicode. And with this, I'd like to appreciate all of you again for attempting it, and most of you have given the right answer. Appreciate that. And with this, let us move on to the next question. Evaluate the following expression: x is equal to 3, y equal to 5, and z equal to 10. Evaluate the following expression. Try to do it mentally. Let's see how many of you will get the right answer. Or if you have a book or something right in front of your desk, feel free to use your book or your paper, anything else to work this out. I'll give you around 10 seconds, guys, to evaluate your this expression, and please give me some answers. I can already see 2 answers. Anamika Nikhil says 25. What about others, guys? Sandhya says B. Okay, let us work this out. All right. And what is plus plus z? Z is 10. What is plus plus z? This is 3 increment operator. Plus plus z will be 11. All right. Plus what is y? Y will be 5, and minus y would be 5. This thing we are here now, and then we'll be here z. Plus what is z? Z was 10, but we have incremented it over here. All right. And this will be 11 plus x plus plus. What is x plus plus? X is 3. X plus plus is 3 itself. All right. Remember, guys, when we have x is equal to 1, all right, if we do plus plus x, immediately in this line itself, your x would be 2. All right. But you have x, if you have x plus plus over here, I mean, I'll write it over here, no space over there. If x equal to 1, and if you do x plus plus, in this line, whenever you're parsing the current statement or something, current statement, then your x will remain 1 itself. All right. In your next in your next line, or next whenever the compiler is evaluating your next line or your next statement or so, then the value of x will be 2. All right. This is the difference between pre-increment and post-increment operator. And this is this is where most people fall down. But never mind. Keep in mind, we are here to help you out. Whatever things that you didn't do it well, we will keep in mind, and we'll set the questions accordingly in the next in the coming practice sets so that you can get a very good practice of these things and you can improve yourself. All right. The correct answer is 25. If you just sum this up, you'll get 25. All right. And and here we have one question, short question. The question is short. Does it mean the question is easy? I get some answers. Let me see. How many of you will get this right? I think this is like a part of C programming, which where most of the people do not pay adequate attention towards. Yeah, this is like an everyday thing for us. Every program should have a function, isn't it? But is it necessary? The program should have at least one function. Doesn't require any function. Input data, output data. You can easily eliminate C and D because obviously we can do a C program without input and output data. So which one of this is right? Is it A or B? Okay, I can see some answers and can see some right answers to the previous question also. Well done, guys, for those who have answered it right. And for all of you, which is the correct answer, A or B? Well done, Hemant, Sandhya, Anamika, Dheeraj, Rutuja. At least one function needed, Hemant. Yes, guys, all of you are right. Yes, your C program should have at least one function. All right, the program must have at least one function. All right, if you have written so much of code, how does the compiler know from which function to start with? All right, if the compiler know, then you can write all sorts of codes and you can navigate here and there. But if the compiler doesn't know which is the function to start with, then how will it execute the whole program? Isn't it? The answer is right. Well done, all of you. Everyone are right. Superb. With that, there is one question. Yeah, this is also a short question. Which option is false about the final keyword? And take your time, guys. I'll give you around 15 seconds. Let's see if you can comprehend quickly and get this one right. I have to say that, guys, a token of appreciation. I'm very happy with the performance of this current webinar because all of you have, most of you have showed enthusiasm. I'd say all of you have shown enthusiasm. All right. Even if you have answered it wrong, you have never lost hope in yourself. All right. You're making a comeback in every other question. If you haven't, don't worry. There is always a scope for improvement. All right. Can I get some quick answers for this question? Which option is false about the final keyword? Can I assume the language is Java? I'll go ahead and take a quick water break, right? Already I can see some answers. Nikhil A, Anamika A, Sandhya C, Anamika D. Okay, I think that was for the previous question, all right? Yeah, D, B. Hemant says B, Anamika says B. So here, guys, so you have to, if you do not know the answer straight away, you have to use the trick of elimination, all right? Let us eliminate, options one by one, and then let's arrive at the correct answer. All right. The first option says it. Final method cannot be overridden in its subclasses. All right. Final method cannot be overridden in its subclasses. Let's keep it aside. All right. And the final class cannot be extended. Is this right? Can final class be extended? Probably not. It cannot be extended. All right. Yes, this is right. Final class cannot be extended. All right. Even this is also, if final method cannot be overridden in subclasses, this is also true because that is the thing about final, isn't it? If you have a final method in your if you have a final method, you really cannot override it. There is no polymorphism option at all because it is final. It is meant to be final. It is not meant to be overridden. And the second option is also right. And that is a final class cannot be extended. That is also right. But remember, we are looking for the wrong answer out here. The C is final class cannot extend other classes. Here you can see C is actually opposite to B. B says final class cannot be extended. That is right. But does the Java specification say final class cannot extend other classes? Final class cannot be extended, but final class can extend other. I'm sorry. Let me reiterate this statement. Final class cannot be extended. All right. But final class itself can extend other classes, isn't it? This is how it happens. All right. So this option is wrong. All right. And the answer, the option D says final method can be inherited. All right. Yes, final method can be inherited unless and until we are not changing it. That is, we are not overriding it. This option is also correct. So which option is false about the following keyword, about the final keyword? That is C. C is the right answer, which is wrong and right answer. All right. I hope you got the differences between, a final class being extended and final class extending some other class. I hope you got the difference, guys. The option is C. Monica option, yes, option is C. And the Sandhya option, you also given the option as C. So remember, guys, which of the option is false about the final keyword? We are not looking at the right answer. We are looking at all the options, and we are just working out which is wrong. All right, we are finding out which is the wrong one. The wrong one is C, and that is the right answer. All right, superb. All right. So here you can see these are type of questions. How are you guys feeling about the questions? What's your opinion about the questions until now? Let me ask a quick feedback. Are you finding the questions difficult, easy, or are you learning something? Okay, based on your feedbacks, we will we will take into account of this, and we'll say, like, if you say that these questions are very difficult, I'll try to make it much more easier. All right, I'll make it much more easier in the coming slides. I'll put up a lot more explanations, and I'll try to explain to each and every one of you. If you have any comments about how the things are going, anything, please use the comment section. All right, and whenever you're ready, guys, please give me a feedback on how the session is going until now. All right, it encourages me to put a lot more effort into the slides, and it also helps me to make you understand each and every concept in a very good way. All right. That being said, let's see what is the answer to this program. We have seen this program in one of the previous sessions. What will this program print? Definitely not compilation error because there is no option. Probably this will print something in a short and sweet way. I've written the program in a short and sweet way. Can you give me some answers, guys? D, none of these. Hemant. Sandhya says D. Rutusha says D. Anamika B. Bhavesh B. So let us go to the question, guys. So here you can see you have a program, int I is equal to 2 over here, and int I is equal to 4, j equal to 5. Here you can see there are two braces. So this means the code, whatever is the code is there between these two braces, will be block scoped. All right, their scope will be limited to this block, the block that you can see between the braces. All right, int I is equal to 4, j is equal to 5. Print those 4 and 5 be printed, and then you come out of the block, execute this statement. Now the value of I is not 4, but the value of I is 2 because you have come out of this block. Now this block is not existing. Now I is 2. 2 will be printed, and J, what would J be printed? J is not defined at all. J itself is not there, so none of these would be the right answer. Right? If we had something like J is equal to 5 over here, then probably 4 to 5 4 to 5 would have been the right answer. But in this case, J is defined to be used only in this scope. So none of these is the right answer. So with that being said, we have completed the programming logic, and here comes the bar raiser. I say bar raiser. This is the section that that has a major impact on your score, your TNQT score. And it's a non-adaptive section, high difficulty, 45 minutes. There'll be two coding questions. One coding question, they'll allot 15 minutes for one coding question and 30 minutes for the other coding question. The first coding question would be easy, the 15-minute one. The second coding question would be difficult. When I say the coding question is easy, it will be medium level itself, all right? But nevertheless, on practice, continuous practice, guys, any difficult question would be made easy. All you need is continuous practice, right? So with that being said, let us move on to the first coding question. And this coding question is an easy coding question. I hope you can read the text. So Ajit, Amrita, and Nikhil, you have answered to the previous question. So well done, Ajit and Nikhil. So I have given you. Let me just read out the question. During the COVID-19 pandemic, a loan shark is handing out loans which have to be paid back with interest. It decides to hand out loans with the condition that the loan should be repaid along with a simple interest. Write a program which takes n lines of code as input, right? Where n is greater than 1 and n is less than 10. Where n lines of input will contain PTR and will calculate the amount which has to be repaid after a set number of years. All right. So here in the input format, you can see the first number will be n. N would be the number of test cases. All right. That means if n is 2, then there'll be two lines following n. All right. P1, T1, R1, P2, T2, R2, and so on and so forth. They'll move up to n times. And the output format is you have to print for each of the n lines, that is P1, T1, R1, P2, T2, R2, etc. You have to print the principal plus simple interest. Very, very simple because you have no need to give the formula also because you would already know the formula to calculate the simple interest in your aptitude classes and everything. So nevertheless, SI is PTR by 100. They'll give you many PTRs. You have to read each and every one of those and you have to calculate the total amount that has to be repaid. That is simple interest plus the principal. In the right side, you can see there is sample input and output. There are the first line is n, that is 2. That means two lines to be followed after this first line of input. 10,000. This is P. This is the first one. This is the second one. And the answer to this is this. And the answer to this is this. All right. So what they have done is this is the P. This is the T. This is the R. They have done PT R by 100. And then they've calculated the simple interest. And then they've added with the principal. That is 13,000. Similarly, they have done for the second one. That is this. Very straightforward. I think, shall we jump right into the code, guys? Easy program. Yes, Hemant, it is easy. But the coming program is super simple. Yes, Ajit, it is very super simple. Word of note, if you attend the next session, all right, if you attend the next session, we'll increase the bar of difficulty, all right? This was given just to give you a warm-up, all right? Ajit, do we get this level of question? You may or may not, all right? It entirely depends on you because the first question will be very easy, all right? The second question, let me go to the second question and then the bar of difficulty will be raised. But I would say the programs coming in TNQT would be slightly more difficult than this. And this is a warm-up question just to keep you guys, ready for the next question, right? So as most of you have told, it's super simple. I just open the code and I'll just show it to you guys. Right, this is very simple, guys. No doubt about that. All right, this is the code right there. I mean, I'm sorry about that. Let me just. And that's not the code. That's the code for the second program. This is the code, guys. I've written the program in Python. One thing about this, while you people are reading the code, I'll tell you one thing. For your coding question, be very, very confident in one programming language, only one programming language. That might be C, C++, Java, Python, or Perl. All right. You need to be familiar, very, very familiar with one programming language. I've used Python over here because very readable. It is similar to your algorithms. The algorithm that you have studied in your, in your UG and everything. So, yeah, algorithms, flowchart, and all those things. So, it is super simple. And the second thing is Python is a very, very powerful language. If I show you the C code for the same simple program, there'll be like one full page. But you can see Python, it's much more simple. Very, very simple. You can see this program and you can get to know about it. So there'll be a for loop. You'll first take test cases, and over all these test cases, you'll do PTR. You'll get the input, and you'll convert the input to integers. That is PTR, and then you'll calculate a simple interest PTR by 100, and then print P plus SI. Very, very simple, guys. I have some questions. Let me answer these questions. If we don't take a new line for a second line, if we don't take a new line for the second line output, do we get the error during test run? Yes, Hemant. So the thing is, the main key over here is, here you can see, let me just, I hope all of you have taken a look at the code. I'll just hide that code. Let's move back to the slides. So Hemant, the answer is, you should see the sample input and sample output, all right? Your output should match the format of the sample output. Here you can see sample output, they have said they are printing 13,000, and then they're going to the next line and printing 6,000. This should match this exactly, all right? So be very, very, have a look on the sample IO, that is sample input and output, and your sample output should match the sample output of what they have given, all right? That is the main thing. Even if you have calculated, you have done everything right, but if you don't print the answer correctly, then it's a bummer, because there you have lost marks. Because, of course, it's a compiler, not a human being, all right, unfortunately. But yeah, Hemant, have a look out on the sample IO before coding the solution. I hope that answers your question. Ajit and Hemant. With that, guys, this is the question. This is a difficult question. This is one of the questions that has been asked in the previous NQT, all right? And this was the question for which the time limit was 45 minutes. The main challenge in this question lies in reading the question, you're comprehending, all right? Sometimes you do not read the question right, and if you go and answer the problem without reading the question completely, or without reading the question in the right way, then, even if you have very good programming skills, you will lose marks on that. So my recommendation is read the question very carefully and see if your logic matches with the sample input and output. All right. And here is a question, guys. And a word, guys. This webinar that you are a part of, if you do not get the coding questions right during this time, never mind. You can just after this webinar ends, you can watch the video once again, so that you can go through all the coding questions once again, and you can be familiar with the coding questions. All right. The first question was very easy, as most of you pointed out, but the second question might not be as easy as the first question, at least for some of you guys. So if that's the case, no worries at all. Go through the video once again, and then you'll have all your queries answered. All right. You can also make use of the comment section. You can also join our Telegram group. Go to Telegram, follow our link to the Telegram group, go to the Telegram group, and you can ask any of the questions over there. We are here to help you out. Nevertheless, Hemant, you're welcome, Hemant. So let me just read out the question. A city bus this is only part of the question. The other half of the question is in the next slide. A city bus is a ring route bus which runs in a circular fashion. That is, bus starts at a given source bus stop, halts at each bus stop in its route, and it ends in, and at the end it reaches the source bus stop again. All right. If there are n number of stops, and if the bus starts always at stop one, and then after the nth bus stop, the next stop in the route will always be the bus stop number one, always. All right. Otherwise, display invalid input. If there are n stops, there'll be n paths. One path will connect two stops. Distance for all the paths in a ring route will be given in array path as given below. So if that flew over your head, don't worry, I'll explain it. So they have given a path array, all right. This is not the bus stops. This is bus stop A, all right. This is bus stop B. This is bus stop C. Yeah, some bus stops, and the distance between A and B is 600, and B and C is 750. And right, this will be some bus stop, and from this bus stop back to the first bus stop, the distance will be 800. That is what they have given the question. They have given the distance in meters, and whenever the bus goes like this, when it reaches the last bus stop, it will circle back all the way to the first bus stop. So this is it, right? Then let's go to the next slide. Same question, guys. We are continuing the same question. Continued from previous slide. Just if you guys feel you're confused or something. And here is they have not. Here is the remaining part. The fare is determined based on the distance covered from source to destination stop. As distance between input source and destination stops can be measured by looking at the values in the array path, and fare can be calculated as per the following criteria. All right. If D is equal to 1000 meters, then the fare is 5 INR. All right. Then previous they have given an array. All right. And they'll give you any two bus stops, say A and B, and between those bus stops there is some distance that you can calculate from the array itself, and for every 1000 meters then charge the fare 5 rupees. All right. So yeah, they have given some conditions that you have to seal the fraction value. Path is circular in fraction. Value at each index indicates the distance till current stop from the previous one. All right. And each index position can be mapped with values in the same index in bus stops arrays, which is a string array holding the abbreviation of all the bus stops. So we said the bus stops are A, B, C. No, the bus stops are not A, B, C. The bus stops are this. And say if they give something like 5 and 6 and so on and so forth, and then 8, these numbers are corresponding to the distance in meters, right? This 5 means the distance between CA and TH is 5 meters. GA means the distance between TH and GA, the previous stop and the current stop, is 6 meters. Similarly, if CA is 8, the difference between the distance between NI and CA is 8 meters. So this is all it. In the real world, reading this will take some time. All right. Here in the question, in this webinar, I am explaining it to you guys, but back in the actual TNQT, reading this might take a toll because you're nearly at the end. You would have solved all aptitude and everything and coding and all the MCQs. And at the end, you'll be exhausted. Be aware of that. And this might be a bit difficult for you to read and everything. But the gist is this, all right? I hope you understood the gist. And as I told in the previous question itself, make sure you have a thorough look at the sample input and output. If you go to the next slide, here you can see they have asked to write a code, get fare, and they'll take the input of source and destination stops, all right, and calculate the return travel fare, all right. I just told they'll give you some values. Like let's take this example. They give you NI and HA. You have to calculate the distance between NI and HA. So what is the distance between NI and HA? So NI is here and HA is here. From NI, calculate the distance between NI and CA, and then the distance between CA and TH, distance between TH and GA, GA and IC to HA. You will have some total distance X, and then based on that distance, you need to calculate the fare with this formula over here. I hope you understood the question. And here you can see, CA, there is small letter CA over here. Small letter CA is not one more thing to be noted. This distance that we see here, let me go back to the previous slide. These distances are fixed, all right? These distances are fixed They are given. They'll be given by the TNQT itself, and even these, the names are fixed. Even these will be given by the TNQT, and they are asking you to write a get fare function, which will take two strings, that is source and destination, and you have to calculate the total fare. Like first, you have to calculate the total distance between source and destination, and based on the total distance, you have to calculate the total fare. Right? And the reason is the invalid input. You can see CA. There is no small letter CA or there is no such thing in the array. So this is invalid. NI and HI. Sorry, NI and HA. If you look at the previous slide, NI is there. Yes, NI is a valid bus stop. And HA is also a valid bus stop. Then they'll do all these things and they'll have the output values as 23.0 INR. One more thing, as Hemant asked, if the input values are invalid, do print the output exactly as shown in the sample IO. So if you just print invalid, the answer is wrong. You have to print the exact words, invalid output. The answer is wrong. In this case, you have to print the exact values. Even in this case also, if they give NI and HA, the output value should not be 23. It should not be 23.0. It should be 23.0 space INR. This should be the correct format of printing. Be very, very aware of this, guys. With that being said, let us move on to the coding question. Let us look at the code now. I'm sorry. Uh, Guys, I'm facing some technical difficulties. Please bear with me for a minute. Yeah, thankfully it came back. So yeah, this is the code, guys. Take a good look at it. Meanwhile, let me just try to. Ganesh Sagar has asked, what is the timing of the class? Ganesh, can you be more specific? Because this is a webinar session. Please subscribe to the channel so that you can get regular updates on the sessions being held. All right, guys. So let us move on to the code. All right. Here you can see we'll take the source and destination, right? And then here the code is in Python, guys. So be aware, there are some simple caveats. If you do not understand Python, well and good. I'll walk you through the code and I'll make you understand this code very well. Here the main thing is programming logic is not at all important. I mean, the programming language is not important. The most important thing is your logic. If you get the logic right, then you have solved 90% of the problem. The next 10% of the problem is up to you in your programming skills and your understanding of the language to crack it and do it. You'll definitely do it. The first thing is get the logic right. All right. Here I'm going to explain you the logic. All right. And do not panic or do not worry if you do not know Python. I'll, even if you do not know Python, it's all right because the code is very, very simple. Like Python is a language, just like your pseudocode. All right. If you ask any of your friends who code in Python, they'll be knowing about it. But nevertheless, let's dive into the code. So here you are taking the input. So in line 23 and 24, you're taking the source and destination as input, and then you'll call the function getFar, source and destination, and source and destination. All right. Here you have a 2D array. If you look closely, this is a 2D array. The first row contains all the names of the stops, and the second row contains the distances of the stops from that particular stop to the previous stop, the distances. All right. Initially, the fare would be 0 and 0. All right. And then you have some logic. All right. See how we should solve the problem. If you ask this, let's say we have this array now. Print this out. I'll just explain you the logic, guys. So after that, you can just carry on. And let's say if the source is this GA and the destination is LU. GA is here and LU is here. If this is the case, then it is pretty straightforward. Calculate the distance between GA and IC. And then calculate the distance between IC and HA. And calculate the distance between HA and TE. And then TE to LU. I do remember that, if this is nothing but these. GA is 650, GA is 600, and IC is something like 900, and so on and so forth until LU. All right, LU is 1200. This is it. This is how we calculate the distance. But if the input and output is like this, if the input source is NI and the destination is GA, we have to circle back to this position. Like we have to go here and then we have to go to the end bus stop and then you have to start again from the start. So what we'll do is, firstly, we'll do this. We'll calculate the distance between NI and CA. All right. And then the second phase, what you'll do is you'll calculate the distance between CA and TH and the distance between TH and GA. And then the distance between, I'm sorry, for what I'm calculating distance towards, you reach the destination. So first step is calculate the distance between NI and CA. All right, these things. After this, what you do is you calculate the distance between TH and IC. What is that? Yeah, TH and GA. You calculate these two distances. That is it. That is how you do it. So this will be like, if I tell NI, that means NI to GA would be, the distance between NI to CA would be how much? 1500. 1500 here you can see. This 1500 is nothing but distance from NI to CA corresponding to this array, like NI to CA, 1500, and then 800. That is the distance between CA and TH. And then after 800, you will be like 600. This is the distance. Oops, I believe my code wasn't visible. I'm sorry about that, guys. So Hemant is asking, can you use circular linked list? Yeah, this is like circular linked list is an overkill for this. Do not use circular linked list. You can do it in a much more simpler way. Right? This behaves like a circular linked list, but it's an overkill. Ajit, in InfyTQ, we get marks for completing particular number of test cases. Do we get the marks in the same way in TCS NQT also? Yes, Ajit, you're right. Based on number of test cases that you got right, you'll be answered either full marks or partial marks. All right. Here you can see, I just given an example on how these things work. If you go to NI to CA, if you have to calculate the distance between NI and CA, answer is straightforward. Just go to CA and the corresponding CA value is 1500. Straightforward. But you have to calculate the distance between NI and then GA. Let us circle back. So what you'll do is, first step, calculate the distance between NI and CA. Keep it aside. And then calculate the distance between CA and TH. That is this. And then the distance between TH and GA. Add these two things and add it to the first value. All right, that is how you do it. That is how you do it in two steps. For example, I've given how to, if the input, the source is Ni, output is Ga, that destination is Ga. What you do is first you do distance between Ni and Ga, and then the distance between Ca, Th, and Ga. That is this Ca, Th, and Ga. That is how you do it. I hope you got the logic right. And this is what I'm doing it here. Okay. See, if the root, if say if the, let me see if I'm getting it right. Yeah. Say if destination is comes after source, then you apply this logic. All right. This is straightforward. You iterate through the array and you add it. Iterate through the array, and then what you do is you add it to the fab. All right. And if destination, if source is bigger than a destination, in this case, what does this imply? This implies that you have to circle back. All right. In that case, this is the first phase where you'll be calculating, the straightforward one, and then this is the second phase where you'll be calculating the distance after you circle about it. If this is set, all right. And then after you calculate these, what you'll do is, this is not the fare. The variable name is fare, but this is the distance. Until now, it is the distance. Given the distance, how will you calculate the fare? Multiply it by 0.005. They've told like every thousand meters is equal to 5 INR. Then every 1 meter, that means what is that? Use your aptitude skills is 0.005 INR. This is how you work out, guys. So this is the distance. The variable name is, again I'm telling you, this variable name is fare, but this is the distance. Multiply the distance into 0.005, distance in meter into the IN cost per meter, and you seal it. Seal function, you have it in every program language, and seal it and return the float value. You return it and then print it. This is how this whole thing works, guys. All right. Once again, I'll repeat it to this case. If you have to calculate the distance between Ni and Ga, so Ni is here, Ga is here. The index of Ni is greater than the index of Ga. That means you have to go start from Ni, Ca, circle back, and you go come to Ga. This is how you identify this case. Like if the index of the index of IC, and in this case, right. That is how you identify this in the first place. All right. If the index of the source is greater than the index of destination, then you have to divide this problem in two phases. First, calculate the distance between the current stop until the end, and then from the starting to the end. All right. I hope this clarifies everything. Again, this is very, very important, guys. If you want to calculate the distance in this way, divide the problem. If you divide the problem, it will become much more easier. If you didn't understand this problem, no problem at all. You can come back to this YouTube channel and you can take a look at this code, make a note of this code, make a mental note out of this code. And after you look at this code again and again, and by rigorous practice, guys, you will crack this problem. So, all right, all you need is a good bit of a practice. Practice is very important. All right. So I'll freeze this code here, somewhere after. If you didn't understand, probably you can come back later and take a look at this code, and then you can understand it in a much better way. But do remember, guys, very, very important. The logic is much, much better, much, much important than the language. Logic triumphs language any given day. And that is it. We have come to an end of this webinar, right? Let me just wind up the session, guys. So once again, guys, as a nutshell, we have solved around 10 questions, MCQ questions, and 2 coding questions. One coding question was very easy, straightforward, and the second coding question was difficult, very difficult. All right. If you didn't understand, again, the first time you probably won't understand. Then what you do is you come back again, take a look at that question, and then you solve it all by yourself. You solve it in your language and get the logic right, and then you'll solve it correctly. Right. So I'd like to thank you guys for bearing with me. It's been nearly like 1 hour 15 minutes. I thank you all for bearing with me and staying with this session throughout. This is a pandemic period, and we are actually, we should somehow convert this pandemic period into a period of opportunity. All right. At least there should be something to celebrate about. Yeah, right. So at least, I hope all of you guys who have attended this session will get placed in very good companies, and you would we will help you to realize your dreams. For that, I have this Telegram channel right in front of you. It has also been shared in the chat section. Please join this channel so that you can get live updates about all the interview questions and similar things like TNQT questions, and we have much more practice sets coming up, mock questions coming up. Please join our channel so that you can get relevant updates of those. All right. With this, guys, thank you again once and for everyone for attending this session. And a word of note, we also have other offerings. We train individuals in multiple technologies like AWS, Java, web technologies, etc. In fact, we are the authorized training partner of AWS. Right? We provide trainings with placement assistance. So there is a program called POP where you join initially and then you pay the amount later on when you get placed. All right? We provide a guarantee that you'll be placed. For more information about all these placement programs or any other trainings that you would like to attend, please contact the numbers given in the slides. You have two numbers, one is the WhatsApp number and one is the regular helpline. Our experts will be there to guide you into shaping your career. You can also write to us at codemithra@ethnus.com, and in the above you can see the Telegram channel, YouTube channel, Facebook and Instagram. So if you like this video, please hit the like button. And if you felt something was not right, feel free to comment it in the comment section so that I can improve and can be better, and I can help you guys much more better in the next session, right? So again, thanks a lot for dedicating your time, valuable time, 1.5 hours nearly. And for more information, go to www.codemithra.com on all the things that we discussed. All right, do join our Telegram channel, guys. And once again, thank you for all, and I wish all the best for your upcoming endeavors, maybe TNQT and beyond. Wish you all the best, and I hope all of you will convert this, this period of pandemic into a period of opportunity. Right? This is Prashant signing off. So